So this isn't really the official start of the video review yet, but I wanted to get your attention so you could check out my brand new, highly produced, brand building, tactical intro for the channel. Tell me what you think, at least for flashlight reviews. Took me forever to do this. That's it. Yeah, I did that other crap back in 08 and 09. No more, usually, for a flashlight review. No way, man. Just message, and that's what the Nutnfancy project is all about. Quality information, high integrity. Thanks for watching the video, for subscribing. I know you're wondering. Limited edition TMP patches. A year from now, they will be long gone. That's Tactical Doodles. So go to the website, top of the screen, order it right now. They are extremely limited, and he's not going to redo them. Shark Patch TMP Elite Limited Edition. Yeah, he drew that. That is just so funny. And then here's our pissed off limited edition Owl Patch. Pack in, I think, an AK or an AR. Your interpretation. All right, that's the patches. This is, of course, TMP. Year 7. Time flying by. Time to get into some lighting products. A couple ground rules. I've said these before, just as a reminder, if you're just joining us here in TMP, by the way, welcome. Light on detail, comparatively speaking, to what I did like back in 08, 09. Very light on detail. If you want more, I will reference you to other awesome informational sources online. They are everywhere. They are high quality. If and when you want to dig in the technical details of this, or pretty much any light. My audience really doesn't care about that. They want to know my opinion on the product. Is it worthwhile? And so heavy on opinion, heavy on philosophy, medium to perhaps even light on detail. Relatively short though. This is the Nitecore MH40 Thor, and I just pretty much ransacked this box as we headed out the door way earlier this year when we put it into testing and review. There is no way I have time, another ground rule, to go out and search, or actually I don't even have interest, to find all the different lights out there. There's so many great lights. It's just taken off. It's crazy, I know. I just pick and choose here and there. This is one I chose. I liked it. I liked its form factor, which here comes, is a modest 14 ounces. Jumping into philosophy, used for a handheld searchlight. Now, when I did the Phoenix lights way back in 08, that's what I talked heavily upon, that you should have a light like this, preferably a couple of them. Throwers, as they're called. So they have a great beam capacity. Now, what does this say here, by the way? We're going to kind of jump ahead. Remember what I tell you about the manufacturers? They're telling you that it has a 490 meter throw. Yeah, as if half that, maybe even less, and that's the effective lighting capacity of any light, not just the MH40. By the way, where you been, Nitecore? They made some great lights back then. I reviewed a couple, I think. They're probably saying, where you been, Nuttin? We've been here all along. 14 ounces, though, for what this light can do, is a decent weight. Totally. It comes with 2 rechargeable 18650 cells. So that means it's going to be 18 millimeter in diameter and 650 millimeters long, button cap variety. There are some better cells, and here comes a screenshot of some that the project is purchasing for upgrade. I think they're like, I don't know, 3200 milliamp. They are expensive, but they're supposed to rule and give you longer burn times. These worked out pretty good. There have been some complaints that they will go into self-regulation, i.e. shutting off if they get too hot. They have a protection circuit in them. Does that suck? Yeah, it does, because you could really need the light when it happens. It did happen to me one time in testing, I think, and it was in the snow when Bucketnuster and I were camping. We took this light with us, if I remember correctly. I mean, it all blends after a while. So batteries come with it. That is cool. The size is large, as you can imagine. You determine if it's too large for your philosophy of use. Is it an EDC light? Absolutely not. A camping light, backpacking? Probably not. Weapon light? Perhaps. Hey, but Nutnfancy, you like lightweight weapon lights. True or false? That is true. Very perceptive, by the way. I do. But remember, firepower versus mobility, if the light can do a lot for me and have some serious throw. And to me, serious throw is at least really bright at 100 yards, 100 meters. Preferably out to 200. And the last rifle lights I did, I complained that they fell short, that for technology reasons, they're just not cutting it. But when you throw in two 18650 cells, that's a lot more power than some other options. So it's going to have more capability, at least for throw. And yes, they can take CR123 primaries. That is a standard 123 power cell that you see everywhere. 9.6 inches overall length, again 14 ounces. For what it can do, as you will see, it's relatively lightweight. How about the construction? Waterproof testing not conducted here. I have no doubts that it would pass. With an asterisk, sometimes you're just surprised. You know, I've seen that with light testing in the water barrel, also diving, scuba, snorkeling, and in pool testing of various lights. They have failed once in a great while. This is rated, again, to IPX8. I think that's down to 2 meters for a certain time span. You can look it up if you want. Mineral glass, which is pretty standard, and you can see it's a smooth, very deep reflector, 60 millimeter in diameter, I believe. And at the bottom there is tucked a Cree XML U2 variety of LED. Now, Cree is always upgrading, changing their LEDs. I don't keep track of it anymore because, again, like I said in a recent review, I'm so happy with the performance of the ones I've got. Whether it's an XPG, XMLs, whatever, they work pretty good. I do like the cool white as opposed to green or some other weird tint, yellowish tint. I like the bright blue tint, and I think that's what this one has as well. It's standard 6000 series aluminum body. There is some medium knurling on it. There's no strike bezel on it. Do you need it? Maybe. I don't know. This thing has enough mass so you could whack someone upside the head and it would work, speaking of a self-defensive philosophy of use. But to me, it's mostly a portable searchlight when that's what you need. Search and rescue, police officers, sheriff rescue teams, pilots, armored vehicle crew members. This would be a good one to integrate into your system. Perhaps a little too heavy to integrate into your LBE, says me. You've got a stepped tail cap, and it's really, I don't know, you can't tail stand it, but it's going to be a little bit wobbly since it's so tall. But at least it's protected. There's a place to put the lanyard on. Here's the accessories that come with the MH40. You have a ring that you put on there. It's an anti-roll ring. Your lanyard. There is a clip with it, an extra tail cap, extra O-rings. I don't anticipate using any of those anytime soon because this is how I would carry it. The included and pretty excellent holster, by the way, with your MH40. For the money, it is a great value. And that value is around $100 if you get a good price on it, on the MH40. Excellent. It's a tough light too. It's going to be rated to 1.5 meter drop. Not tested. Not yet. On the concrete. The things I've found in past flashlight testings, when you get a large span of mineral glass like this, it can shatter if you drop it. I don't know if you remember watching my videos like 4 years ago when I was dropping the Phoenix lights off a freaking bridge. And they survived, but it was the smaller ones. You know, the 123s and stuff. Ergos are actually pretty awesome on this in that it is a longer cylindrical form factor, so you have a lot of room. If you're gloved hands, that's good. If you do decide to run it on a weapon, which, by the way, we did, and it freaking rocked. Yeah, there's a spoiler for you right there. You got a lot of places to lock it on there. You might want to bounce it well, though. Yeah, ergos are decent. You know, guys will go on and on about the finer points. You know, is the knurling good? Not knurling? I don't do that anymore. It's good enough. How about brightness, throw, beam? Again, we talked about the ludicrous claim of 490 meters. No. I would say probably out to 200 yards you will get usable illumination from my testing from the Nitecore MH40. Are there better lights out there that will do better? Probably. Yeah. But value is a critical component of my flashlight reviews. I like to review things that deliver a lot for the money, and I think the MH40 does that. Let's turn these off. We'll talk about burn times and modes and stuff. Oh, it's kind of scary now. The beam is excellent, as I would expect from a thrower like this. And by the way, I'm looking at it with my naked eye. That camera is capturing it. It's doing a good job of showing that the beam is pretty free of artifacts, halos, and other I call them distractions. A lot of people, I think most people don't care. Flashaholics will go on and on about it, and I totally understand it. I'm empathetic. This is an awesome beam, and it does throw. In the turbo mode, which by the way is going to be accessed, let me turn this light on so I can show you, by twisting it this way. So now I'm in turbo. I came out of turbo to high. I think it was in high. You don't twist this upper bezel right here. Speaking of ergonomics, we'll show you what that's for. You just twist, hold the whole head, twist like that. So that's turbo. So right there we're looking at, you know, rated, and I believe they're ANSI lumens. ANSI FL1 standards is what Nitecore says. 900 lumens. And with fresh, I guess their power cells, 2300 milliamp NL183s. Uh-oh, too much detail. Back off, nothing. Anyways, 18650 cells, an hour 15 for burn. And then if you twist lightly, this is your UI, user interface. Then we go in, I believe that's high, it might be medium. Let me tap through and see where I'm at. Okay, so there's strobe, by the way. There's low, I believe. SOS, strobe. That's low right there. Low, by the way, is 18 lumens, 105 hours. Medium is 105 lumens, 22 hours. High is 320 lumens rated. I didn't test these. 5 hours, 30 minutes, and there's no step down, meaning that the light will just kind of die. You know, so it's a regulated function, the brightness levels. Those burn times, like I always say, by the way, are highly subjective. It just depends on what you have going on, and more importantly, your temperature, because as I found in testing this light, if it gets really cold out there, your burn times suck. You might want to go to, you know, primaries then, so the CL123s, and just suck up the cost. They seem to perform better in the cold, as opposed to the lithium ion rechargeables that this thing is running right now. I like the UI on this thing though. So it is a forward clicky switch, and once I'm in user defined mode, I'll just tap to find the one I want. So let's say I want this mode right here. So I'll go ahead and forward click it, hold it, and let it stay there for a while, and it should memorize that function. Then again, if I want turbo anytime, I can go and access turbo. Great duty light for FCLE. Great duty light because it's relatively lightweight. Yeah. Be careful of unscrewing this portion right here, and this is what I was going to tell you, because this is actually, and it's a really cool way they did this, and a recharging point for the Nitecore MH40. Look at that. And it's O-ring sealed, so it's waterproof. And then there's your recharging point. So you don't even have to take the batteries out, because it comes with this in the package. And you just plug it in right there, recharge it, off to the races you go, and then seal it back up. I really like how they did that though. It seems like it's high integrity way to seal it. And then also if you want to recharge it, you can buy their Nitecore IntelliCharger, which worked great. And I also used a no-namer, both the Ultrafire I used on the cells, and then this one, SciTac. I don't know where I got this, bought it from somewhere. It worked fine as well. Track record, I would say it's excellent. Yeah, for the testing that we did, I did see it turn off once. I think it did go into regulation mode. The batteries did, like I said. But dang, is this a great throwing light. I mean, in desert conditions, we tested it and very impressed. You know, I was doing some target shooting, so, you know, sighting in an SPR, I think at about 150 yards with this light only. You've been watching the footage. Did great. Awesome. And you can figure out other uses for it. Great gift item, by the way. Cost, once again, $97 around there. $100 if you get it from a really good source. Upper right is where I currently recommend it. Always subject to change depending on what vendors do. And then look at all the crap you get with it, dude. It's a lot. High value. No, it's not the only high value, great search light out there, but man, for $100, you're going to be hard pressed to beat it. That's the Nutnfancy review. Done.